So we have a brand new Disney Plus Marvel show coming out next week on Tuesday. Echo drops. Admittedly, I couldn't care less about What If Season 2. Maybe I'll get around to watching it one day among all the other stuff I gotta watch, but I'm actually looking forward to this show for a couple different reasons. I would have tried to play the algorithm game for this video and put the title as why I'm super excited for Echo, you know, why Echo will make me absolutely bust. Hashtag busting for Echo. But I can't say that I am excited for this show. I'm not thinking about it constantly or counting the minutes till I can see it. Echo is not one of my favorite characters, even from the Hawkeye show or in the comics, but there are several things that make this show just off the top different that raises my intrigue like no show quite has in a minute. First off, the show is only 5 episodes long. All the other shows that Disney Plus has put out have been 6 episodes and more. I believe the runtime has been released for the first 3 episodes, which are 49, 39, and 42 minutes. So I think it's safe to say that the last 2 episodes will be around 40-ish minutes, which realistically all these runtimes should be subtracted by 7 for those long ass credits. I typically like the episodes to be longer and the seasons to be longer. I'm wondering if they feel confident enough in their story that they're okay with having it be short, as well as dropping it all at once on Tuesday, which for a show, I haven't seen that be done since The Boys season 1 back in 2019. So I'm excited to see how that fares, because maybe it's the case some shows benefit from being released all at once. Maybe short 6-episode seasons would do well to be dropped all at once, and longer shows would be suited more to be dropped week to week to build up suspense. Who knows, but I'm excited to see how that feels with a Marvel show again. That was very reminiscent of the Netflix era. Shows can be quite the, if not time investment, but energy investment. So if you spend 6 weeks on a show just to get an unsatisfying ending, that's a lot more detrimental to the soul than finding out within a day or two if it was worth it or not. Another thing that is extremely enticing about this show is the fact that it will be Marvel Studios, not Netflix. We'll get to that in a moment, but it'll be Marvel Studios' first TVMA rated show, at least from my knowledge, okay? Now, from the trailers, it looks like blood will be spilt. The action looks violent and gritty and visceral, which I'm very excited for. I want to see Marvel go all out with this. Like, this is like one of the first times Marvel is going to dip its toes into the actual rated R violence department, before Deadpool 3, of course, and I'm so excited for that. I think you need to have a mix of stuff for younger generations, and you can do that with like the Young Avengers and Miss Marvel and, you know, certain characters in the X-Men. Let them have that, but you need to leave room for mature shit to exist for your older audiences who, you know, pretty much grew up with this universe, who still love the universe and these characters, but need more substance. And I think this show will test that, and whether Marvel Studios does do all at once releases in the future and makes more mature shows, which I imagine since the writers and actor strikes ended and the new direction Born Again is going in, the show will be going in a more mature direction similar to this show than initially intended, and I absolutely can't wait. Speaking of Born Again, we have even more to look forward to with this show, with Daredevil coming back in the red and also more of Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk. These two characters have been fan favorites since 2015. Everybody loves them. There's rarely anybody that hates this show or these people, like these actors and their characters. Everybody says that they're peak, and for good reason. The show is amazing. And ever since 2015, there's been wars online about whether or not Daredevil is actually canon or any of the Marvel Netflix shows were actually canon, even though they did contain many allusions to the actual main MCU and events like the Chitauri invasion from Avengers 1 and of course, you know, this poster. I get they probably had to keep shit extremely vague for whatever, you know, TV, you know, Marvel movie reason, but that's what was going on in that time period. Then Daredevil came through and She-Hulk, and people were like, you know, this isn't the real Daredevil. This is some variant version of the Daredevil we know, which I wouldn't have really been too upset about if that was the case, and that this Daredevil shared most of the same history as the Netflix one, but with like slightly altered events. But in all the marketing for Echo, it is confirmed these are the same characters from the Netflix show. They show scenes from the Netflix show in the promo, so we are in Gucci land, players, okay? It's official. So I'm just so excited to see them back on screen together, and the action looks awesome, which is a given for anything tied to Daredevil. I believe a fight scene got leaked between Maya and Daredevil, and there's people that love it, and then there's people that hate it. Personally, I think it's a little slow, but the choreography is awesome. The camera work is dynamic as fuck, and I can't wait to see more of it. Just like the blood splatter here, the explosion of the arcade glass. I think this might just, if anything, be super entertaining in terms of action. It seems like there is going to be at least value in that. Lastly, and I'd say it feels like the show's main character is at least getting a bit lost in the shuffle with everything. But I'm interested to see what they do with Maya now that she's figured out that Fisk was responsible for her father's death and she got her shots in with him. You know, I have no idea what this show is about and what they'll do with her character from here, to be honest. I believe the synopsis says that Fisk's goons are after her, so that should at least ensure some good action, but I'm hoping they can make me really care for Maya. As far as Alaqua Cox's role in Hawkeye, I thought she did a fine job, nothing too crazy, but definitely not bad. The character of Echo from the comics admittedly hasn't been featured too much, especially in the 20 years that she has been in, you know, the Marvel universe. She's in less than like 150 comics, I believe, and most of those are like where it's someone else's comic or a team comic. I don't believe she's ever had a comic run solely dedicated to her, although there was like a time she had the Phoenix Force possess her and they gave her this Phoenix song run, and then there's a new run called Daredevil and Echo, which might have already gotten canceled because the last issue was in August, but I'd personally recommend reading Daredevil Volume 2, issue 9 to 15, and then issues 51 to 55. This is like all from like 1999 to like, I believe 2003. This is where Maya was first introduced, and you probably get a better sense of who she is as a character here than anything else that she's been in recently. The art for all of these books that she's in on this run were absolutely amazing. Like, I believe the artist was David Mack, who was an absolute beast. The art in here is like fucking mosaics. It's so beautiful, so weird. There's like watercolors. It's just really awesome. My only complaint is that it feels like they overtell her backstory a bit, but otherwise I'd highly recommend this run. Might not look too exciting, but it does look pretty interesting. Just because it does though doesn't mean it's going to be interesting or it's going to be a good show. We'll have to wait and see how they handle and develop these characters. Hopefully in the same way Netflix got us to care about these characters, Marvel Studios can do the same. But again, Tuesday will tell. I don't know if I'm gonna binge the show in one night or just finish it in two, but I will be watching this Tuesday. Let me know what your thoughts are, players, and if you're gonna watch as well. But that's it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope all of you guys are well, and I will see you in the next one.